Let us start today's meditation with what we discussed last time. Knower number one, two, and three. It is a passive meditation journey. In passive meditation, we live in an extraordinary awareness that helps us to reach to a higher states of the consciousness. Find out the most comfortable position of the body and also a place. Close your eyes gently. Check that there is no struggle in being comfortable. Being comfortable, we can say it is an experience, and the experience is awareness, and awareness is knowledge. So when the knowledge and the mind settles, coming from the intellect, listening to the instructions, moves the mind within. So, as usual, mentally look at the neck joint, be there, feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. We already understand when I say move the mind within, it is rise in awareness. You do nothing, you are just aware. So instead of looking at the world outside with millions of objects, you look inside. Again, inside, I tell you, it is a rise in awareness. You look beyond the world, a space, and the space is awareness. Awareness is space. Look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Mentally, we recognize the body. Obviously, knower number one is there. That we will continue understanding. And the space within space is awareness, and awareness is the space. You're comfortable, you experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, space, awareness. Being comfortable, we do this step with reference to the body. And the next step is being carefree. We do with reference to the mind. Mind, yes. Like the highway with the three lanes, mind with the three lanes. We recognize and accept, again in the field of awareness. So when I see you, I also see what is in the background. Where are you sitting? The, the shirt you are wearing. It comes in the field of awareness, so it's okay. We need not to stress. We need not to struggle to wipe out those objects in the field of awareness. So being carefree in the lane one of the mind, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts are coming. So you are just aware. You are aware means the lane two is also there. Lane two is an observer, is a knower. Which knower? Check it out. Knower number one or two. Sense organs are not active. You are withdrawn inside. So it is the knower number two, which I refer to as an intellect, as an observer. But in the background, there is a lane three also, which I can sense, which I can experience as a state of the calm. How long we can remain being carefree. Understanding is required. Thoughts are coming and going. Let them come and go. You are totally indifferent. Indifferent does not mean you are ignoring. Ignorance means an effort. I gave an example. You see me, or I see you. I'm also aware of the shirt, your face, background, etc. Same way, I'm aware of all the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. There is a point of knowing that at this moment in the journey of meditation or mindfulness, I am aware of all these thoughts. So that makes you an observer, the knower number two. So that is why I say it's a lane one of the mind, lane two of the mind, lane three of the mind. Lane three is my experience of calmness. Or sometime hesitation is experienced means what? Lane two is missing. I do no longer remain as an observer. I become that very thought of hesitation. Was a thought of hesitation converts into a feeling? Yes. Into an experience? Yes. How dare any thought can thought cause any issue? But the thought causes the issue. Unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, claims, I am that. That is why I said lane two is an observer, it's a witness. Check out the Noah number one and the two in our next step, awareness of the body. So, how I'm aware of the body through the sensation. So, sensation permeates the skin of the body. And what is just outside the body? It is the space. So, awareness of the space, awareness of the sensation on the skin, the space around the body, and the sensation. Let us make it little subtler so that nor one and the two becomes clear to us. Awareness of the space all around the head and the neck. If I see the space around the head and the neck, you are knowing that that space is hardly 1 or 2 inch outside the skin of the head and the neck. So that the mind does not start creating any other unwelcome thoughts. So the space around the head and the neck and sensation. Sensation is knowing, it is my experience in the field of awareness. Did I do anything? No. My friend, remember, if the doer enters into the journey, you recognize, you simply remain in knower. That doer we will discuss in detail. It is the ego in a very subtlest form. Ego always wants to be the doer. The space all around the right arm from the shoulder to the fingers of the right arm, aware of the space all around the right arm and the sensation. Can I say it's a mutual awareness? I'm using a wrong phrase, but for a right reason. What is the right reason? Without sensation in the right arm, I cannot become aware of the space all around. Without the space all around, I cannot become aware of the sensation in the right arm. Really? Just check it. You are the knower one and also the knower two. Or you are the knower three. Just see it. Explore. The space all around the left arm and the sensation. I can also directly guide you that the sensation in the left arm, how do you feel? Because you are aware. But how do you feel the sensation? Not only because you are aware, but you identify the boundary of the left arm. So how do I find the boundary of the left arm? Because of the space. So they are mutually related. I believe you are getting it. We're going deeper. That too by doing nothing. The space all around the chest, belly, and the spine, the middle portion of the body. I cannot recognize the chest and the belly if I'm not aware of the space and the boundaries limited by the skin of the chest, belly, the spine, from the shoulder to the waist. Just pay attention. Knower one, knower two, knower three. Are all the three there? Or only one is there? Only two is there? We just understood the knower one are the sense organs, and that sense organ gives the information. Here is the chest, here is the belly, here is the spine. And now my sense organs are not active. So knower number two feels that, imagines here is the chest and the belly and the spine. Through this sensation, it understands the boundary because of the space all around. So we have to experience the space and the sensation and awareness. That awareness is the knower. The space all around your right leg, from the right side of the waist to the toes. We also feel the sensation of these clothes we are wearing at this time. So the space and the sensation in the right leg. Do you see one thing? That the moment I say the right leg, you feel more sensation in the right leg. Why do you feel that? It is the prana that moves there. How come? I did nothing. So our master says, where the mind is extraordinary aware, there the prana moves. That is the higher journey of meditation or mindfulness. And then what is the lower journey? You control the prana in kundalini meditation so that mind goes there. But the mind is a higher principle than the prana, than the body. So a higher seeker moves through awareness. I believe you got it. Space all around the left arm and the sensation. Now it is clear. I recognize any, my friend, I recognize any object with the space that confines the territory. Here it is the skin, object which has a name and the form and the shape. So the space also participates in knowing the object. That is why the space and the sensation, the entire body, space all around the entire body, and the sensation. And I can add space, sensation in the body, and awareness. We are exploring clearly the knower one, two, and three. You are exploring. I'm not naming it. For the sake of the journey, I say let us have the second next step. So, bringing the mind again and again on these major parts of the body. Space is there, space all around the head and the neck, sensation in the head and the neck. You also experience something more. It is the stillness. Or I can say the space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Relaxation is knowing, and the stillness is also the knowing in the field of. Can you identify the location of the stillness? Is the stillness an object? Or the relaxation and stillness are not an object? Then, how recognize the number one, two, and three? Number one is the sense organ with reference to the world outside. Number two is the mind with reference to the senses in the world. Number three is a witness consciousness. Space all around the right arm. Sensation in the right arm. Do you remember the prana goes there because the mind is there? Relaxation is there, stillness. We are just enjoying and exploring nor one, two, or three. Nor one is not there, but its impressions are there. That's how we experience the right arm and the sensation there. The space all around the left arm. Simple the journey, or I would say simple the non practice, higher the journey. So the space all around the left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the left arm. We are left with which knower, number two or knower number three, or both. Space all around the middle portion of the body, covering the chest and the belly and the spine at the back. Space all around, sensation all around, relaxation, and the stillness. Sensation with reference to the middle portion of the body and the skin, we can figure out here it is more. What about the relaxation in the stillness? Does the relaxation has any shape or the stillness has any shape? It's a beauty. We live in an extraordinary awareness. You need not to think anything. Just if you want to think and reflect, know number one, two, and the three. Space all around the right leg. Sensation in the right leg. Relaxation in the right leg. Stillness there. Can you find out the shape of relaxation in stillness? We always The mind tries to make an effort to find the relaxation in the stillness with reference to an object. Here, the object is the right leg. No, no, I want to know independently. Relaxation, is the relaxation awareness? Is the stillness just an awareness or something more? Or is the stillness here is pointing to the stillness, the unchanging knower three? Or it has nothing to do with the right leg? Just exploring. Perhaps this may be one of the higher meditation journey and the practices for you. Normally we feel if we do lot of breathing, lot of mantra and lot of steps, then only we can reach to the higher journey of meditation. No, space all around the left leg, sensation, nor one or two or three, then relaxation in the stillness. And then I asked you to explore, is the relaxation stillness with reference to the left leg? Mind is always out. It is independent. It is in. I can bypass all the objects by this process. I just give you a clue. That means the objectless state. The space all around the body. We are adding one moment, one step to go deeper. So there's space all around the body, and the sensation was the previous step. And this step sensation, we go move further, relaxation and the stillness. We are still all around the skin of the body, but still, because the knower 2 and the knower 3 has an ability to go within. We will add calmness and quietness with reference, and then you go without reference. Mind cannot know anything without any reference. If there is a reference, means an object of knowledge. So there the knower number 2 constantly works. Let us see what comes in the next step. The space all around the head and the neck. Does your mind move to the sensation, relaxation, stillness? Then look inside the head and the neck. You may discover as if the shape of the head and the neck melts, dissolves. Why it dissolves? I have an extraordinary awareness. And inside, so called inside, any sensation you recognize is an indication you are doing good. Sensation is the calmness, and the space inside the head and the neck is quietness. Oh, we started with the space and we reached to the space in this step. What's happening? Nothing is happening. Maintain your awareness. The space all around the right arm. Just check, does the mind follow the previous two steps naturally? When I say the space all around the right leg, right arm, sensation is experienced, relaxation is experienced, the stillness is experienced. You look inside, calmness and quietness. A moment comes, you feel as if the right arm dissolves, merges. Now see the journey. Space all around the right arm, sensation, relaxation, stillness, inside calmness, space. What do you mean? There is only a space? That is the objectless state of the mind. Even if you are listening to me, normally we try to control the mind. How can you control the mind? You have to go behind the mind. Going behind the mind means node number one, two, or three. And your mind says, I got it. Space all around the left arm, sensation, relaxation, stillness. Until now, this is the previous step. Inside, calmness. So I added the calmness with reference to any sensation inside the left arm and the space. If you don't have a space, you cannot have a sensation. Or you have a sensation, therefore you have a space. I'm confusing? No. I'm removing the confusion. So just see space in the beginning and the space in the end. In between, everything is changing. Where is changing is not me. Space all around the left arm, sensation, relaxation, stillness, calmness, quietness, space. Now we have also to understand what is this calmness and quietness so that objectless state becomes clear to you. Awareness, the space all around the middle portion of the body, the chest and the belly, the spine from the shoulder to the waist. You are aware of the space all around. If you are aware of the space, there is bound to feel the sensation because you are not a doer, so ego is bypassed. So you've experienced relaxation. Oh, bypassing the ego, relaxation is always there. You have to explore. So, what do you mean? Whenever we have an anxiety reaction, confusion, duality, conflict, it is because of the ego. Explore. Answer is yes. So, now see the space all around the middle portion of the body, sensation with reference to the skin, relaxation and the stillness with reference to the middle portion. We look inside, calmness. Sensation is there. Any sensation you designate as the state of the calmness. And the space within is the state of quietness. Does the knower too has changed? Nothing has changed. No, but then why I feel that? Stillness is the first step the mind experiences with reference to the unwanted thoughts and unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. They are constantly moving. So it is a contrast, a movement of the thought versus the stillness. The next step is it results into relaxation. Then we experience as if these unwanted thoughts are too far from me. Still, I recognize them. It is the state of the calmness. And what about the quietness? Quietness, the thoughts are too far. I have some impressions that something is happening, but I don't recognize them. Why? The mind is already withdrawn inside. That is why I said space within. Lot of understanding is there if you do it, but resulting resulting nature is exploring the knower one, two, and the three that you have understood clearly, I believe so. The space all around the right leg. Sensation, space and the sensation in the right leg. Space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness with reference to the right leg. Again, space, sensation, relaxation, stillness, looking inside, calmness and quietness with reference to the right leg. Now you are exploring what is happening, the space in the beginning, sensation, it changes, relaxation, experience with reference to the body, with reference to the right leg changes, but it is independent. Stillness is also independent. Calmness inside is independent. Quietness is independent. Space. Oh, I landed up to the space again. Exploring knower one, knower two, knower three. The space all around the left leg, sensation and the space, space, sensation, relaxation and stillness with reference to the left leg. It's okay. It's a no two or no one, no three. You are exploring. And space, sensation, relaxation, stillness, calmness, quietness with reference to. And now, without any reference, space all around, sensation, relaxation is independent, stillness. So, that moment of relaxation, which is independent, is the knower three. No object is there. The reference point is there, then what? Calmness and quietness in the space. Knower three is independent. It does not depend on knower two and the knower one and the world outside and the objects outside. That understanding, that awareness is the objectless state of the mind. My master used to say, I have never had any thought for the last 50 years. What? Space all around the body, space and the sensation on the skin all around the body, space, sensation, relaxation with reference to the body, space, sensation, relaxation, and stillness with reference to the entire body, space, sensation, relaxation, stillness with reference to the body. But the moment you're looking inside, calmness, quietness in the space, objectless state of mind, exploring knower one, knower two, knower three. Can I say it is a next? It is not a next step. It is progression. It is only one step. Space, sensation, relaxation, stillness, calmness, quietness, and the space. So that space inside and outside is without any reference. What happens? It drives the prana, and the prana merges into the mind, resulting into an objectless state. Then knower three no longer is the witness consciousness of the mind, of the thoughts, of the senses, of the world, is the real self. Journey is not so easy. Ego takes over. Why? Ego is made up of all the vasanas, the sanskaras, the past impression with the likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow, ultimately the RSM syndrome. Let us give a shock to that ego. Look at the breath and check, are you looking at the breath or are you focused on the breath? Focus on the breath, a very subtle ego is there. But we are casually aware of the breath and you are knowing the breath is moving and changing. Casual awareness. This casual awareness is extraordinary awareness. Check, there is no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So, in that space, the breath is moving. Without the space, the breath cannot move. So, become aware. You are aware of the space where the breath is moving. That movement of the breath, we say the change. Is the change happening on its own, or there is a doer? There is no doer. The, the space on which the breath is moving is another milestone. So it means you're not only aware of the breath, but there is one knower who is also aware of the space on which the breath is moving. Anything that is changing, whether it's the body, the breath, the mind, thoughts, has a base, and that base is the space on which it is moving. Okay, we live in an extraordinary awareness at this moment, but how to recognize that? Can I examine in the test? And there comes the Tantra. I'm invoking one step of the Tantra here, Shiva. Our Lord Shiva says that when we are aware of the 4 points in the movement of the breath, we live in an extraordinary awareness. What are those 4 points? We are not in a hurry. So the breath moves in so called into the body. It has a natural pause for a fraction of a millisecond before it goes out. It's an opposite movement of the breath. Inhalation and the exhalation are opposite movement. So, what are the 4 points? First point, breath is going in. Second point, there is a pause. Third point, the breath comes out. Fourth point, there is a pause before the breath goes in. There is a pause before the breath comes out. If we are aware of these 4 points, we live in an extraordinary awareness, not by holding the breath and forcing the pause, but we recognize in the pause, in the movement of the breath going in before it comes out. There is a pause. Before it goes in, there is a pause. We also discussed, perhaps you have noted down, engaging the pure mind, educating the pure mind to know the 4 points in the breath, empowering the mind to continue to live into that state, evolving. What you are evolving? You are evolving the mind. What it means, you live in a higher awareness. What it means, it goes to enlightenment and awakening. What is that? Number 3. I summarized the last 2 sessions. The principles we discussed are translated. What do you mean by translation? You internalize the knowledge. What it means, knowledge is settled. What it means, not only it purifies the mind, but you also explore. Awareness of the 4 points of the moving breath. And behind that, there is a space which is unchanging. That pause is nothing but a reminder of the space. Any distraction, unwanted thoughts enters and we forget, we fall into sleep. It happens on a particular day. It's not an easy way to enter into that extraordinary awareness. But let it happen. You return again. You check that you're not changing the breath in any way. Why? You do not become the doer. Why? The doer is the ego, where it lives in the mind, reference to the unwanted thoughts and the feelings, creating an RSM syndrome that is blocking. Then I'm aware of the 4 points. It's okay. It's good. Live into that. Extend that period. I'm just reminding you, you are aware of the 4 points of the breath. You're not doing anything. Awareness is not doing anything, my friend. We know the world through our sense organs, and then I see that I know you. It means my sense organs are the knower of the entire objective world. The knower too is the mind because mind knows the sense organ and the sense organs knows the entire world. And the knower three knows the mind, the sense organ, and the entire world. So in one of the Upanishad, Master says when the objects of the world merges into the sense organ merges into the mind merges into the intellect merges into the ego, and the ego merges into the real self. We have achieved the highest stage. Can the real self merge anywhere? No. There is nothing behind the real self. That is the pure consciousness. So, as long as anything may become the knower at the first place, but also merges into something higher, it cannot be the real. So, what we perceive through the sense organs and the mind may not be real. It is constantly changing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. If you feel you want to continue, please continue. Extend that period. Just aware of the 4 points. Otherwise, bring the mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Again, ask the mind what happened, what is your experience. Bring the hands down and keep sitting for a while just to check and examine how the mind is responding to the external world, living into that state. That will go a long way in the journey. Thank you, my friend. Namaste.